Well, howdy there, folks. James, Political Friar, coming to you again. I got the White Sox hat on. We're going to have a bit of a big think on this one. I have been worried about how to address this issue for a long time, especially considering the way that I look, but I thought I'd just hit it head on. And that is, I have a criticism of the modern left. The modern left has abandoned its founding principles. That is to say, that the modern left has forgotten that the real distinction between the haves and the have nots has nothing to do with race. I mean, it does. But the real biting and sharp distinctions are about class. Like Marx and Engels and those guys. The old left, well, maybe they had a point. Maybe their point was that it didn't matter the amount of melanin in your skin, but maybe it mattered the amount of dollars in your bank account. It was the privileged for lots of reasons, not just money, but privilege comes from status, it comes from birth, it comes from your lineage, it comes from your social acceptance, it comes from all of those places that have little and less to do with race. Listen, the privileged in 15th century England were very, very privileged, and they were all white. It's class, guys. The left has lost its focus, it's taken its eye off the ball. The left is deeply ingrained with this idea that it is your identity as expressed by outward manifestations that matters, and they're just wrong. If the left is going to be credible, and let's all understand that, not a leftist. I think they're wrong about this too, but they're way more right to divide the world between the haves and the have nots than the white and the not white. The left has lost its way. I got inspired to have a little bit of this talk by a Guardian article that was published yesterday. When I was in London, I was a avid reader of the Guardian. I kind of reveled in a bit of a graduate school leftist sort of Marxist kind of fantasy that this might be a thing, and I was fond of saying, "Well, good idea, but wrong species," right? Like, Marxism and fully, communism and anarchism would be great if we were all ants, but we're not. We're really horrifying monkeys who are individualistic, and so this doesn't work anymore. But you know what? The whole theory works a lot better if you're talking about the distinctions between class, and that is to say, the distinctions between privilege, not the distinctions between race. Race is so much less important than class when you're dealing with privilege, and it is the Fresh Prince of Bel Air concept. That entire show was saying one thing over and over and over, and it's to say that it has nothing to do with your race. Carlton and Will had nothing in common with each other except for their race. And their race, well, maybe in goodwill brought them together, especially considering that they were family, but the distinction had everything to do with class. So listen, leftists, my friends, maybe you're right in time. It ain't about race. You got to stop that. It is about class. It's about privilege. And if you're going to identify privilege, don't look at the color of the person's skin. There's plenty of privileged black folks, and there are plenty of unprivileged white folks. And those unprivileged white folks, well, they're voting for Donald Trump because they don't like your story, because they know it's bollocks or malarkey, to borrow a presidential term. Because the real distinction, as this deep thought will contend, is about class. And I just want to make sure I put it out there. Like Keynes, when the pitchfork mob comes, I will be on the side of the higher class. But maybe we should prevent that, right? Maybe we should ensure that that pitchfork mob never has reason to come for us. Anyway, it's just a thought. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit a like on this if you thought that was fun. I want to do a couple more of these big thinks as they come up. And tell me how wrong I am. Those comments, they're there. Anything you do to interact with this video helps. Maybe even tell a friend. All right. I'll talk to you soon.